The 24th of December 2025, GamAfrica TV. With me is member Jiba Junior, a one-time politician, and then, of course, a teacher as well by profession. And Jiba is a psychologist because he studied in IOU, International Open University, and of course, in the University of the Gambia. He majored mathematics, and then he also doubled as a principal in one of the private schools here in this country. So, Mr. Jiba, you are welcome to GamAfrica TV.
Thank you, Mr. T. It's delightfully great to be here, and it's definitely a good honor and a privilege to be here on this platform. It's been very wonderful, and I'm so grateful. And I hoped today our session here is going to be very interactive and very educative. And thank you for giving me the invitation to be here with you.
Of course, I believe. I will take you through Gambian politics because we have seen, we have heard. At some point, you contested in the local government election in New Joshua town. I do not know what inspired, what motivates you to run for, how to call it, a councillorship in New Joshua town. And of course, after the elections, we have not been seeing you being active in Gambian politics. This is the attitude of many Gambian politicians. Whenever they are defeated, they will never come back to contest again. For them, the concept is like they will come and then fool the Gambian people, and when people refuse to vote for them, then they will go and sit and never come back again. So, what inspires you? What motivates you to contest in Gambian politics?
Mr. T, I think this is a long question, and it deserves a detailed answer. Not only to tell you what inspired me or why, if supposedly that I have withdrew myself from politics, but at first and foremost, I would like to recognize the landscape of political discourse in the Gambia. Looking at the Gambia in history, Gambia have suffered and been crippled by political crisis from the First Republic to the third president that we have gotten, that is Adama Barrow. Consequently, we have suffered so much of crisis, lack of leadership. We've lacked leadership that serves the nation. We've lacked the leadership that protect the nation. We've lacked the leadership that do not uphold to their oath in office. We've lacked the leadership that does not have the credence and the visionary thoughts to serve the country to the best of their ability. So as a nation and as a result, all of us entirely have suffered the consequence of lack of leadership. And when we talk about a lack of leadership, we're talking about the type of leadership that we always offer, or we always give the ticket to serve us at State House. This is something that I have thought for so many times. I said, look, since we have always been putting blames and we almost apportion to them that the leadership in Gambia is so fragile, that the leadership in Gambia has not demonstrated, has not showcased, has not always represent the masses, all right, for what we actually want as a nation and where we want to go to. So these are some of the reasons why we have given it a total thought, believing that we are young people who have been in the system of advocacy, in the system of organizational governance, so much in different institute or private organizations. So we thought coming into this political arena in my local community, I think it would have been a very good surplus to the community if they have elected people like us, because I have always thought of it. I said, look, if we will sit down and believe the leadership is common, the leadership is almost the same everywhere, all leaders are bad. This is one of the most deceptive, the most, biggest lie we've been told in the 21st century, that the leadership in Gambia all are the same. If we desire a change in the Gambia, and if we desire a progressive society, we do not have to sit down and say, simply because of the one who is in office have not served us well, simply because of the one who is in office has not actually represented the community well. Why can't you and I basically get up, who have claimed to have gotten the education, who have claimed to have gotten the experience, who have claimed to have gotten the knowledge, to actually drive the community to the path that we all desire. So these are some of the reasons, because lack of representativeness is what we have lacked. In absolute totality, this is what we have lacked. And some of the reasons why I was inspired is because of I desire to represent my community. I desire to serve my community. And I was a victim of this community that was not well represented. I was a victim of this community, that the young people, both men and women, whose voice were not heard, our concerns were not actually represented or table where policy or decision making are effect. So some of these reasons were the reasons why at short where I went into politics and I decided to basically campaign for the election in my area. But unfortunately, it is my professor Patrick Lumumba who will tell you that in Africa, people with ideas are not elected into office.
That's wonderful. That's very profound. So you talked about bad leadership in Gambia. If I were you, I think it could have been better because you have the knowledge, you have the know-how, you have the skills. You call yourself a potential leader. You know that the one there or the incumbent there at the time was not capable or doesn't have the skills, the know-how, maybe to take your community forward. It could have been better you join him, you work hand in glove to see that your community move forward. But instead you decide to stand alone and contest for the position. And yet you call yourself as a leader. For me, I don't think it is necessary for you to contest in that election because if I were you, I would have joined him to work hand in glove because we are in from the same community.
Yes, I think when you put it that way, you definitely try to weigh it down based on what I have thought was quite more important. When you look at politics in general, politics is a competition of ideas. Politics does not only stop at competition of ideas, but it's the execution of ideas, right? And the innovation of ideas. This is what politics is all about. We've evolved in stage of in times where the political arena used to be confined by only one political party. You have one person running for 3 to 4 terms consecutively into office serving the people, when he has not definitely given the community or the society the development that they actually want. So if you say that why I haven't joined him, I have believed in Africa, especially in our context Gambia, politics is definitely most of the time party politics. You understand? And when you join the party politics, you actually walk and you actually walk in the dictates and the interests of the particular party that you are coming from. So I do not feel it's more necessary or deem it important that I can actually collide with a political party because I do not want to serve a political party. I want to serve my community. I want to serve my people in my area. This is why I said I think if I declare myself as an independent candidate, I can walk freely without the dictates of any political party. But if yes, I can walk towards that line. That is the dictates of my community people. Here I represent everybody. Either you are in UDP, either you are in GDC, either you are in NPP, either you are in APRC. If you call yourself as an independent candidate, you represent everybody, not a single party. But when you put yourself in a political party, you are actually narrowed down to the policy or the goals and activities of what the political party represents. So for such a reason, I decided to stand as an independent candidate. And when you say why I didn't join him, you're looking at the political structure in Africa, especially in Gambia. I will speak in the context of Gambia. We actually manage each other. We actually sideline ourselves. I definitely did something that was very precedent during the political time during our election. What I did, I said, look, we were about 4 candidates in my local community, and I definitely said, look, if we are all claiming that we want to serve the country, we're claiming to serve our constituents, which is our community, we do not necessarily have to be political parties of rivalry. We do not have to be individuals with something in our hearts against each other. We do not have to be on media, either on TV or on radio, to castigate one another. What I did is to actually call into action. Look, we are of different political parties or we are of different ideologies, and it is normal for us to have different ideas. But what I did was to galvanize everybody so that we will understand that we are all having a common goal. And what was the goal? It was to develop the community. So then what I did, I actually called upon on an invitation. We formed a WhatsApp group where all of us were together. We were actually sharing thoughts. We were actually, familiarizing ourselves to understand that at the end of the day, we have different opinions, but at the end of the day, the community, it is what matters. So politics is not about division. Politics is about cooperation of ideas. You understand? So I felt like that has been lacking in the system of Gambia politics, and which I definitely introduced and made.
Should I call you a politician? Because for me, I would not like to call you a politician because after that election, you decide to stay away from Gambian politics.